Hello everybody, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, very unusual in the key of C. Congratulations for spotting that. Who was that? Andrew, well done, well spotted. Yes, that's a very spontaneous arrangement I just found of that on the interweb, and as I started playing it I thought, oh, bloody hell, it's in C major, that's far too low, but it's designed to be sang by a bassist. So there you are. Who'd have known? Good evening and welcome to Saturday Night is Organ Music Night. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different. As you will have noticed over the past few weeks, I have been bombarding you, get it? Bombarding, that's an organ term, bombarding you with great, swell and positive news. There's more organic nonsense. Ignore the colour of that. There's it's basically fizzy water with a splash of something, and it's yeah, it's all right. I've been bombarding you with tales of modern sample set production, and tonight is the final chance, the final night for you or anyone that you may have contacted to watch this and chip in as well, for you to contribute to a crowdfunding campaign that will enable me to go into professional sample set creation forevermore. And some of those exciting things on offer on that crowdfunding campaign, well, all of them in fact, will run out at midnight tonight. So we are in Germany. It is 18 minutes past 10 on Saturday night, so we have 1 hour and 22 minutes before the whole thing stops. All right? No, that's not right. You know what? Yes, it is. You know what I mean. Anyway, we have 1 hour and 32 minutes, 42 minutes. You know what I mean. We have some time until it stops. And when it stops at midnight, those offers are gone forever. All right? So more about that in a minute. Let's have a piece of music. This is the sample set that was produced a few years ago by a young chap called Piotr Grabowski, who is Polish. And he came up with this magnificent organ. It's an organ in an Italian cathedral. And it paved the way for a number of other sample sets because it features this. What has to be until now, careful, got to be careful how I say that, what has to be until now the best tuba that's ever been recorded for Hauptwerk, all right? The best sample set tuba. It's so good, it's almost British. All right, it's the best tuba we've got on Hauptwerk so far, currently. I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm going to leave that sentence there for the moment. And this became a favorite of a lot of people when it was released because of that tuba. And it would seem that if you want to release a famous and popular sample set, you have to have a tuba. Now, many years ago, I recorded a CD on an organ, also with a very famous tuba, and I recorded various jazzy pieces of music on that organ. One of them was this. you're going to have a tuba, you have to do a tune like that on it. Isn't that great? I loved doing that at the time. That was a wonderfully spontaneous little number. And yes. Right, good evening to everyone in the chat. The chat this evening, please. Keep the chat free this evening for organ talk, please, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep the chat free. If you've said hello to each other, then just, that's fine. Say hello to each other, get it over and done with. Let's save it for organ chat tonight. You have the chance to ask questions. I'm sure you will have some questions about various things regarding our funding and what it's all for. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on the funding. Keep an eye on the funding and make sure I'm up to date on it. Now, I'm logged in. Right, here we go. So the last person, I'm not going to name any names, but the last person to chip in to the fund chipped in 55 minutes ago. So at 9:30 p.m. local time. So splendid. That's good. We're getting there. 39 people have joined me on the Sacred Soundscapes Preserving Historic Organs for the Future campaign. 39 people, some of whom have donated more than once. And a number of people, I think it's now, hold on, it's now 8. Let me just make sure I get that right. Here we go. Statistic. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Here we go. That's the one we want. Yes. No. 8. Yes, that's right. 8 people have now decided to go for the lifetime access to all sample sets produced. Now, I am, if you're new to this tonight, I am in the throes of producing my first sample set, and by the end of this year, yes, that's how long these things take, the first one will definitely be finished and released. Now obviously the people who are here who have bought or have reserved that sample set, they get it first. They definitely get it first, and then at some time afterwards it will be released to the general public. Some people have gone for the No, nobody has gone for that. Nobody has gone for the two sample set idea. Nobody's gone for that. 4 people have gone for the initial sample set. So once that one is once that one is finished, you, along with the people with the lifetime access, you will receive that sample set to play around with. And of course, if you go for the lifetime, you get everything else that's on that list as well. So that's fine. So there we are. So 12 people so far have actually gone for sample sets. 4 of them for the first sample set, and 8 people have gone for the lifetime access. And as far as I can tell from the statistics here, 7 of those want them for themselves, and 1 person wants them for a donation. They're going to donate the sample sets to somebody else. Now, even as I speak, something has leapt up. Let me see quickly if I can dig in here and see what that was. The wonderful thing about this site is I don't know exactly how it updates itself, but it looks like we have another lifetime supply sold. Thank you very much indeed. That's 9. Now, these lifetime supplies, they're very expensive, yes, but they are worth well over 6,000 euros. So they're worth more than 6 times their cost at the moment. It's an investment if you want to think about it like that. Sample sets are expensive things. I've worked it out. The average price of a sample set is $350. So let's say 350 euros for the sake of argument. That means not even 3 sample sets could be bought with my lifetime deal there. And at present, my waiting list of organs to be sampled, this is so exciting. It shows that my organ diplomacy over the years is paying off now. Normally, sample set producers go to churches and say, "Can I please sample your organ, sir? Give me some more, sir." And if they're lucky, they will get to do it. And they may even have to pay a lot of money to be able to do it as well. But so far, I have been approached by, it's now 16 people have approached me. One of them was my own idea. 16 people have approached me with organs they want to have sampled. Some of which are preserving historic organs for the future organs. These are organs that may never sound again in the original buildings in which they were intended. I'm not going to go into details at the moment because we're still working on contractual details with all of these establishments, with these people, etc., etc., etc. It's a very complicated system, and I'm doing it very carefully and very properly, and we're doing it very legally as well. That's very important. four of the organs on that list are in danger of never being heard in public again. Another 3 of those organs will never be heard again, ever. They're in buildings that are going to close down. In fact, they're going to be knocked down, and the organs will not be saved. They won't be saved. They can't be saved. They've been trying to get the organ removed for years, and it's not happening. No one's interested. And these instruments are going to be scrapped, which means they can't even be saved and put in a new building somewhere else in the world. It's absolutely terrible. It's really rather awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah, terrible. Terrible. But this is the state of things. This is what's happening. An example of things, like this happening. I played my church service this evening in the church I play at here locally. 22 people were in the church building. Now, that's not 22 people in the congregation. That's 22 people in the building. That's including staff members. So there's the guy in the sacristy, there's the servers, there's the person who did the readings, and there was me up at the organ. Yeah? 6 of us were staff members, as it were, of the church, which means 16 people came to church this evening. When I started playing there 10 years ago, we had 100 to 150 in every single service. It's dying out around the world. It's only a matter of time before the church I play in will one day close its doors. And that organ, which is also an historic organ, is the largest organ built by that organ builder of the time. It will never be heard again. It will never be heard again. I can think of 3 churches within a 5-mile radius. 5 miles? What's that? 5 miles is 8 kilometers. 5-mile radius of here. 5-mile radius of here that don't get played ever. They don't get played ever. Nobody knows what state they're in because nobody ever plays them. One of them is a original condition Baroque organ, untouched for hundreds of years. It never gets played. Isn't that frightening? And this is sadly going to start happening all around the world. And this is what got me into this campaign, to get it going. It's what got me going in this campaign. So we're into the final 1.5 hours, ladies and gentlemen, of this campaign for this evening. So if you're interested in helping me out, please consider chipping in. It doesn't have to be a sample set. Maybe you're not even interested in sample sets, but maybe you know someone is. Or maybe you would like to say, here's my money, Fraser, donate this to somebody who you think needs a lifetime supply of sample sets. That can be done. One person has already done that. A very generous person has already donated a bunch of sample sets. Now, I'm still waiting to find out from this person if this is anonymous or not. We shall work it out. And also the person we want to donate them to doesn't know yet. So it's all very exciting. All very exciting. Now, during this evening's concert, I have a question for you, and you have the chance to win my first sample set. Win a copy of the sample set. Now, whether you are a player or not, it doesn't matter. You can win this sample set and you can do with it what you want. You can donate it to someone, via me, of course, or you can use it for yourself. All right? And there's going to be a question, so pay attention. There's going to be a very difficult question, and the answers to the question can only be sent by email. All right? Do not put the answers in the chat. Have you understood that? No answers in the chat. Answers per email only. I will give you the email address later with the question involved, and it's one of those closest person to the right answer wins. All right, so it's not something you can Google, it's not something you can go and look up, it's something that you either know or you don't. It's good fun. There it is. Here's a piece of music that I absolutely love, and I heard it on the way to church this evening on I've got CarPlay set up in the car, as I'm sure some of you do as well, and on the way to church this evening, this was the first piece of music which I thought was absolutely wonderful. And it made me immediately think of one of you in the chat. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I will afterwards. Love grows where my rosemary goes. A beautiful tune, almost a one-hit wonder for Edison Lighthouse. A wonderful band. Who was the singer of Edison Lighthouse? Tell me who the singer was. Jez, don't tell me who the singer was. Someone else tell me. Jez knows this, but no one is to answer except Jez. Pay attention. This could be a question. No, don't worry. That's a Googleable thing, so we don't want that. I love that tune. It's one of my favorite tunes of all time. And yes, the person I immediately thought of when it started playing was, of course, Jez. Because a long, long time ago, I think, Jez, you actually sent me that as a request a long, long time ago, didn't you? And it's such a wonderfully refreshing, happy song. And here's the funny thing about it. It's one of those songs, it has neither verses nor a chorus. It's straight in there. Yeah? Where's the verse and where's the chorus? Is this the chorus? Is that the verse or the chorus? I don't know. Is this the verse or the chorus? Dun, dun. Or is this the chorus? So is that a small chorus within the... oh, there's been another donation. Thank you very much. What's this? Let's have a quick look. What's this? What's this? What's this? Is it going to update for me? Ooh, it's not updating for me. Update, you swine thing. Is it updating for me? It's the problem with this program. Sometimes it updates and sometimes it doesn't. It updated! It updated. We have... What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? Let's have a look. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the extended sample set access. I should have said this ages ago, shouldn't I? I should have said ages ago, yes, people, you need to get the extended sample set access. Excuse me, that's my dinner coming up. Gosh, tonight was an incredible rush. You notice I'm still wearing shoes. I had my church service. Immediately after the church service, I came home, picked up Vanessa and the bundle of joy. We rushed off to a little village where my church choir, had a private engagement. Two of the choir members celebrated their 80th birthday recently, so they were celebrating a 160-year birthday party tonight, and the choir was singing. And we were supposed to sing 3 songs, and then Vanessa and I and the little one were going to bugger off again because we needed to eat something really quickly before the concert tonight. But as these things are, everyone, oh, chit-chat, chit-chat, chit-chat. And because we had the bundle of joy with us, they wouldn't leave Vanessa and her alone. So I was ready to go home, but the women were busy chatting away in the background. So it took me forever. So I had my dinner. Thankfully, we cooked dinner before we even left. So I had my dinner in 18 minutes tonight before the concert started. And then, just as the concert was about to start, the little one, the bundle of joy, decided to throw up her dinner all over the living room floor. So that wasn't very pleasant either. So there you are. The joys of life. Why am I telling you this? I can't remember. Why did I start telling you this? There was a reason I started telling you this and I can't remember now. Exciting stuff. Right, jolly good. Here we go. What's the goal of tonight's concert? What's the goal of tonight's thing, everybody? Well, the goal of tonight is just to be with you for the countdown, the final countdown of our crowdfunding project. As simple as that. And the more we sell now, the more reserves I have to go to places and record organs. So it means traveling around the world to record organs. It does mean a little bit more equipment that we need to buy to record, but it's only a little bit. We've got everything else we need now. It's basically just offering these things to you guys as a support, and it's giving us a lovely reserve so that we can comfortably spend time creating these things. How long does it take to create a sample set? I asked 5 sample set creators around the world how long they took to create a sample set. They all told me something different. 3 of them told me roughly the same thing. They said for an organ that's got about 30 to 40 stops, so a medium-sized, shall we say European organ, medium-sized organ, they said 3 to 4 months. And they basically said the same thing, 10 stops per month to do. So if you've got a 10-stop organ, it would take you a month. There you are. Wouldn't that be easy? So a 40-stop organ, 4 months. A 50, 60, 70-stop organ, 5, 6, 7 months. All right? These things take a long time. Why do they take such a long time? First of all, the organ has to be recorded. Let me demonstrate this to you. For example, here's the great manual of Alessandria. I will choose the... In fact, let's start at the bottom. Number 1. Stop number 1. Stops are numbered. The 16-foot principle. So it's a very low pipe. So the first thing you do is you sit at the organ and you record 3 samples of this first pipe. A short one. You wait for the acoustic to die away 100%, and then you a slightly longer one. Okay, that lets the pipe speak. Okay, and it sort of lets the sound unfold, and then a much longer one. That was 6 seconds. The longer the better, because then you're going to turn that one into an endless loop at some point, okay? The longer the better. The sweet spot is somewhere between 5 and 7 seconds. So there you are, 6 seconds, perfect, all right? That's one pipe. Let's go to the next pipe. And only when that dies away completely do you then move on to the next pipe. Now, this organ has, hold on, let me have a quick look. Yes, this organ actually has 61 keys per manual, all right? So a usual 5-octave keyboard like you would find here. That's one stop. This organ has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stops alone on the great manual. So that's a month's work on the great alone. The choir manual, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's say the tuba as well, 10. So that's a month's work on its own as well. Over here, the swell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 stops on the swell. That's a month and a half. Yeah. And now the pedals, down where your feet are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's over a month. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.5 months to get this organ completed. How long did it take the guy to do it? It took him exactly 5 months. Ah. Yeah? So, okay, the processing was 4.5, and the other half, the other 2 weeks was probably the recording. Yeah? See how long this takes? It's incredible. Now, what does all this processing mean? Well, if you've got headphones on, which I hope you do, you will hear, in fact, let me show you. Go and get your headphones and I'll show you this exactly. Blower noise, listen to this. There's it at 100%. Hear that? This is the noise of the organ just switched on, nothing else, okay? And then we have this, the mechanical noises of the organ. That needs to be recorded as well. Now here's the fun thing. You record the blower noise and the ambient noise of the organ's blower, of the church's ambient sound, so that you can then reduce it completely. You remove it from the stops. And then I go back to my, oh, let's go back to this one, it looks nicer. You go back to your stops and then now we have the acoustic, we have the reverberation there, but we don't have any of the background noise of the church. Piotr filtered that sound out perfectly. It's a very unnatural sound, obviously. You want some of that back in. So what you do at a later date, because you've recorded the ambient sound, you add that back in. You add that back in. It's really weird. Where did I have it? You know, I honestly don't know, so let's pop it about there. So all of that extraneous noise has to first be removed from every single sample recording you took. And yes, that's the bit that takes the time. Okay, you denoise basically that. But the thing is, if you denoise all that sound, you can end up with an unnatural, dull sounding pipe, and you don't want that. So you have to denoise in a certain careful, surgical way, in fact. It's like sort of drawing around the harmonic pattern of the note to get rid of all that extraneous noise. Now, thankfully, there is very sophisticated software that helps you do that. And yes, I do have that software already. And it's incredibly clever. Once you get used to working with it, it's quite easy to work with. But nonetheless, it's incredibly time consuming. You can't just go and say, right, I'm going to denoise the entire principal pipes. You could do it that way, but that would be cheating and it would sound dead. And then it would actually make more work later, because to make it sound nice and bright, you would have to go back in and use an equalizer to add some of that back in again. So why not just denoise it correctly in the first place and not worry about that later? It's an incredibly complicated, time-consuming process. And yes, I will be helping you out by showing you how this works. If you have joined us in the crowdfunder here, if you've joined us, you will get to know about these things, okay? From a certain level of funding, you will get to know how this all works. I will be showing you my recordings. I'll be showing you some of the denoising process. I'm not going to give you my secrets. I'll be showing you some of the denoising process and how you turn it into, or how you get it ready to be turned into a sample set. Now, the actual turning it into a Hauptwerk sample set, I cannot show you because, ta-da! All of this stuff here, the design tools within Hauptwerk that you only get access to once you become a sample set creator, these are copyrighted. These are copyright Hauptwerk, so I'm not allowed to divulge any of those secrets, which is fair enough. I think it's quite right. Let's have a hymn. We're going to play hymns. Organists like playing hymns, and tonight at church we had, what did we have tonight? I can't even remember. It's so long ago. Oh yes, we did have a nice one. Number 400 and... I'm looking in the 300s and turning back. I probably should be turning forwards. There we are. This is a very nice one, very simple. It's a 4-part hymn, a very rare thing in the German book. And it's called... I don't know. Maybe you know it. If you know it, then chime in. Let me know what it's called. That's how simple that hymn is. It's lovely. Very, very simple. Blessed are you, in other words, is the title of that. It's rather lovely. Rather lovely indeed. Will we run out of lifetimes in the last hour, asks Don Prince. That's a bloody good question, and I would be the happiest man in the world if we did. How are we up to? Where are we up to now? I think we're getting, well... Let's have a look. 9 of the lifetime access lifetimes have gone. 9 lifetimes. That's a cat, in other words. 9 lifetimes have gone already. There are 20. It's limited to 20. Now, originally it wasn't limited, and then somebody very cleverly pointed out, hold on a minute, if you don't limit it and everybody buys that, then you'll never sell a sample set because you're giving them all away to people who bought them up front. And you thought, you know, that's quite right. You're right. And all throughout, imagine, it's unlikely, but imagine 50 people bought are lifetime access things. Now, how many sample sets do you actually sell? Ones like this, Alessandria, maybe sell, I'm going to say maximum of, I don't know, this is a guess, 100, 150, 200 tops? I don't know. How many Hopework users are there out there, and how many buy every sample set? Not that many. Some do buy every single sample set. They're like Gollum, they have to hoard sample sets. Wonderful. And they're great. Sample set producers love them. But how many people bought Alessandria? Don't know. How many people bought, let's see, Dusseldorf came out recently as well, another Piotr Grabowski. Yeah, how many people bought Dusseldorf? Dusseldorf was a very popular one. I'm guessing certainly, let's say around 150 to 200 people bought that. Now, Caen, on the other hand, Caen, however you want to pronounce it, the French organ produced by Sonus Paradisi a long time ago now, but still one of the best, some people still say the best French romantic organ sample set there is. Now, I don't have Caen, so I can't comment. It's very expensive, and apparently there are hundreds of them out there that have been sold. So let's say 500 of those, yeah? Now, yeah, and so on and so on. But see what I'm getting at, yeah? How many people actually buy a sample set? For example, a young chap I was speaking to recently, who is also a sample set producer, 20. He sold 20 sample sets when he introduced a new sample set. The Blackburn Cathedral sample set has sold less than 50 samples, less than 50 sets so far. It's a very popular one, but less than 50. So although it's popular, only 50 of them have been sold. So get the idea? This is not an enterprise that will make you a lot of money. If you're lucky, you'll have, you know, a one-hit wonder, you know, a really good sample set that everybody wants to buy. And that's of course good. That's a money maker, that's true. This is not why I'm doing this. I'm not in it to make huge amounts of money. I would like to earn a living from it, yes, but I'm not in it to make huge amounts of money. I'm not that naive. A lot of work goes into this, and a lot of love and passion goes into it, and I also want to save organs that will never be heard again. Nobody else seems to be doing that. Obviously, people will probably start doing it now because they've heard I'm going to do it. That's always the way these things work. But you heard it here first. You know, it would be nice if I could, you know, make a living doing it. What do you need to make a living nowadays? Well, when I was young, I would have loved to have been, you know, everyone wants to be a multimillionaire, don't they? Well, I'm over 50 now. I'm 51, in fact. I'm over 51 now. And I've given up on that plan. I've never had money ever in my life, and I never will. And I don't care, because as far as I'm concerned, the more money you have, the less happy you are. So I'm not into that at all. I really am. But I would like to live comfortably, if at all possible. And if I can do it by, you know, creating beautiful artwork, as it were, yes, it's basically becoming artwork, isn't it? Then yeah, so be it. I think this will be absolutely lovely. So, 20 lifetime supplies. I think that's a sensible number to limit it to, because let's say you're going to get rid of 20 of them anyway. Let's say you sell a sample set at 150 euros, 20 of them sold, that's 3,000 euros. It's taken you, however, let's say 3 months to do. So your return is 1,000 euros a month. That's nothing. That doesn't even pay the rent. You know what I mean? Get the idea? So hence the idea with the lifetime sample sets, and also limiting them. I'm sure you get the idea. I'm not a very good businessman, you may have noticed. These are all ideas that other people gave me, by the way. Other ideas. Let's play another one of my favorite hymns. This is I call this my national anthem hymn. It's a Mary hymn, it's a Maria hymn. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's an Ave Maria hymn, but I think it sounds like a national anthem. You'll hear what I mean in the middle. One day I would love to have, I never bothered doing this growing up. I've been offered cathedral organist jobs before, and I always turned them down because I'm not interested in that kind of thing. I might be now, but in my younger days I certainly wasn't. I was more of a free spirit when I was younger. But you know, if you had an organ like that, where you could play hymns like that with tubas and full things, and you had a congregation of 500 people out there belting their little voices out, singing along, I think that would be amazing. Problem is, in this day and age, there aren't many cathedral organists who still do that. Yeah, your average cathedral, and this is not necessarily a criticism. It's a criticism. Most cathedral organists these days, this is about as loud as they get. And they don't even bother with fancy harmonies anymore. Yeah, what? They wouldn't do that. What would they? They would just go. At a push. Even that's quite racy for some of them. Yeah, no, I'm too old school nowadays. Yes, I'm all about old-fashioned, going to church to be petrified. Yeah. The minister screams at you from the pulpit, and the organist deafens you from the organ loft. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I think if churches went back to that, if they went back to doing that, I think they would have a lot more people on the pews and the weekly services. All this sort of wishy-washy stuff that they do nowadays, all this touchy-feely stuff. No, you're not allowed to say touchy-feely when you're talking about the church, are you? Sorry. But you know what I mean. All this sort of, me, my feelings and all that rubbish. That's, no. Go back to traditional stuff. And I'm not saying, traditional stuff. I'm not saying Spanish Inquisition. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about, just go back to being traditional service styles, traditional music in the services, traditional ideas. Not weird old-fashioned stuff, but traditional. That's important. All this modern wishy-washy stuff, nobody can identify with it. It's a fad for a little while, and then people get fed up of it, which makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, right, we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to talk about music and organs. Right, update. Let's have a look. What are we up to here? Let's have a look. 44 supporters now. I got a lovely message. A few minutes ago saying, give us a number, because apparently some people are sort of looking at the site, looking at the startnext site, and it's not coming up with a very updated number. Well, the problem is I don't have an updated number as well, which is why I keep looking at what has been sold, what has been done. So let's have a look. Who's been in here? Yeah, you see, look at this. There's been another lifetime supply has gone, but it's not showing up in my total. So how many lifetime supplies do we have now? Let's have a look. I need to go and have a look here. It's a good page. Wow, 10 lifetime supplies have been sold now. It's amazing. 10 lifetime supplies have been sold now. All right, we still have 1 extended sample set access. We still have 4 concert and sample sets. We have 8 behind the scenes, 3 exclusive recordings, 3 exclusive recordings, and 4 video presentations. And we also have 26 people who just donated without the need for any thank you, as it were. So thank you particularly to you for doing that. And thank you very much to the 10 people who have gone for the lifetime access. That's half of them gone now. How long do we have? We have got 56 minutes left. 56 minutes. Yeah, see, it's not showing up here because my total at the moment is showing 9,780, which is obviously not right. That's still a lot of money, but it's not correct. It should be more than that. So yeah, wonderful. Here we are, Marek. The funding page takes a few hours to update totals. It updates support count quickly, but not the totals. There you are. Thank you, Marek. There's the explanation for that. It's not even giving me the correct thing, which is why I'm looking at the differences in the statistics. So, thank you very much. Keep surprising me. I like it. Surprises are good. I feel as though I'm in a timeshare presentation. I know I'm not going to purchase, so should I be here listening? Oh, Jeff. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's when I set this up, I said, well, is a crowdfunder the right idea? Because a lot of people they have nothing to do with Helpwork. They have nothing to do with organs. They're just fans of organ music. And for you, that's why the other little thank yous are there. Or the free, send in a donation kind of thing. Now, sorry, yes, I got a question. Sorry, I got a question earlier today. And it was a very valid question, and I'm sure I can probably tell you the answer. Let's have a little look here. Yeah, I can do that. Right. Costs. If I want to donate something, do you get all the money? And the simple answer is no. Of course, I don't get all the money because there are costs involved. Startnext takes a percentage, and you can choose how much of that percentage you want. I said you can have 2%, which is not very generous, but it's more generous than 0. You can say 0%. You can say whatever you want. You could probably say up to 10% if you want it. So I said 2 because I thought that's been relatively generous. So, however, all of the transactions that take place, so let's see, it goes through something called Stripe. The whole thing goes through a payment file thing called Stripe. And we have Apple Pay, we have credit cards, we have bank transfers, we have Google Pay, and PayPal apparently. They even have PayPal now as well. And each of those takes 4%. But those are just the transaction costs. I can't do anything about that at all. So the current transaction cost, and this has not been updated since 2 o'clock this morning. Hasn't been updated since 2 o'clock this morning. So at 2 o'clock this morning, the transaction cost, can I update that? I don't think I can. Hold on, let me do that again. This is quite interesting. I haven't even looked at that. No, it hasn't been updated. So at 2:30 this morning, well, 2:26 this morning, a long time ago, the transaction costs alone were, I have to add them together, don't I? €450 or thereabouts were the transaction costs. So there you go. So we're looking at about 5% of the whole total goes to either payments or StartNext itself. So there you are. That's just the way the world works. Everyone has their own costs to deal with. Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. Right. This is exciting. Music, however. We're playing music. Now, I wanted to show you in this evening's... Oh, damn it. That was the wrong thing. I pressed the wrong button. Never mind. Let's not bother. You can tell I'm not used to these things here tonight. Oh, the Platts Gang. Platts Gang have sponsored something over on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you very much, Platts Gang. That's very kind. Thank you very much indeed. Haha. So things are running in the background as well. What's this? Tickets have been bought as well. PayPal tickets have been bought as well. And that is, who's this? Alexander. Alexander, thank you very much indeed. Alexander's very kind. And Jez, thank you very much. That was for Rosemary, wasn't it? Okay, right. Now, here we go. Organs, different organs. Do they all have to be enormous, big, loud, brash, wonderful organs? No, they don't. They can also be very, very small. So hold on, that's the wrong... There we are, that's what I wanted to do. Here's a smaller organ. This is a new organ. This is one of the newest organs for Helpwork. It's a new organ, but it's a very well sampled new organ, which is why it takes quite a long time to load. Oh, damn it. Wrong button. That's the one. Here it is. Boom. And this is another organ by our friend Piotr Grabowski. It's another little Italian organ, but it's a very different Italian organ, much smaller. It only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stops on the pedal, which is, I suppose, quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stops on the choir. Hold on a minute. Okay, that's good. Just reminding myself what manual I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on there. So I would say about 3 months work. Okay, 3 months work. So slightly less than the other one here. And this is a very different organ. It's a very different organ with a very, very different sound. I think I put a full organ on here. It's a much brighter Baroque sounding organ. Very different organ sound indeed. Smaller church, you can hear the acoustic is much, much shorter. Very different style of organ. Nice though, nonetheless. You hear the sound dies away almost instantly, right? That's a nice little organ. Let's move over to one of my favorite organs. I'm showing you the different styles and things here, okay? It's Labor Day weekend here in the USA. Banks won't process until Monday night. Gosh, really? Good point. It's going to take startnext up to, I think startnext needs up to a fortnight to process everything and send it over. Right, let me double check, see if anything else has been happening here. I can click on that. That should tell me as well. Okay. Okay, right. So we're up to 52. Oh no, hold on, stop. 52 orders have been placed, but 44 people have been donating. Although I think that's probably higher now. I think more people have. Now this is a huge organ, and look how quickly it's loading as well. The modern Hauptwerk version, Hauptwerk 8, loads much quicker than all of the other ones, and it's just absolutely magnificent. Shall we have a spontaneous toccata? Who wants a spontaneous toccata? I think I might. Let's have a spontaneous Dubois toccata and hope I can remember it from memory. I love that piece. I haven't played that for months. So I apologize about all the silly mistakes, and I apologize also for the fact that my middle finger still hurts like buggery, which is not a good idea because I managed to slice into my nail last night while I was cooking, opening up the nail bed. So every time I catch the don't demonstrate it, you fool. Every time I catch it on a black note on the way past, that little bit of nail missing, oh, it hurts like hell, sending shivers up my spine, literally. Not much fun at all. Literally, so not much fun at all. Right, I think we have something new here. I think we have something new. I'm just guessing. I think we have something new here. We do. We have someone else there. Thank you very much to the last person. I'm not naming names because not tonight. It's anonymous anyway, as far as I can tell, or pretty much anonymous anyway. CameraTim.com, you make us cringe every time you mention it. Well, every time I mention it, I have to cringe as well because it hurts like hell. Funnily enough, this organ is not too bad if you don't catch it. Ow. Stop demonstrating it. If you don't catch it on the way past, you idiot. Bloody hell. But at church tonight, the church I play at has quite heavy action, quite heavy keys, and the black keys, which are actually white in my church, it's black on white as opposed to white on black. And they're very sharp edges on those keys. And oh my God, I was playing some hymns tonight, and it really did hurt a lot. 40 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. 40 minutes to go. 40 minutes to go. Oh, something's updated itself. Hold on. Something's updated itself. What happened there? Something updated itself. Ooh, what updated itself? Quick, quick, quick. Click. Something updated. We have... Is that right? Am I right? Is that 11 now? Could that be 11? It is. 11 lifetime access to all sample sets have been sold. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the race is on 39 minutes for 9 more sample set, lifetime access sample sets. And they're all gone then. And that's it. And this offer, I know everyone says this, oh, this offer will never come back again. But no, this offer will never come back again because that would be, from a business point of view, the most stupid thing I could do. So this offer will not be repeated. Okay? I promise you it won't be repeated. So to all those of you who, wait for a few months and say, oh, I know him, he'll do it again. Not this time. Absolutely not this time. So over to you. That's a promise I'm making to all of you who have funded this project because, yeah, that's my thank you to you. It's a trust thing. It's a, you guys are basically trusting me to go and make lots of sample sets, which is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. It's the kick in the butt I need to go and do it as well. That much is very true. And here's the thing. All of you know, because I've been saying this from day one, sample set creation is not something that happens from, today to next week. It takes months and in fact will take years. It's an ongoing thing. Now, obviously not one sample set, but the 17 sample sets I have on my list, my waiting list, they're going to take years to complete. I'm guessing 4, 5 years maybe, but isn't this cool? That means you guys now, you're basically guaranteeing yourselves 17 new helped organs over the next few years. And that's just from me. Yeah, there are other sample set creators out there creating other things as well. So there's going to be lots of new things out there. But like I say, this offer will never appear ever again. Okay. Here's a beautiful hymn. I haven't played this for weeks. I really should play it. It's number 739 in the Limburg book. Now this organ I love particularly because it has a big snarly French sound. It doesn't have any tubas, it doesn't have any chamade trumpets, those are the trumpets that sit horizontally and deafen you, literally, but it has a big snarly French sound. What's a snarly French sound? All these reeds. But particularly these reeds here. And then of course these reeds here. How about that? Now, if you're listening on headphones, which I hope you are, or very good speakers, and you happen to be seated equidistantly from your speakers, you will have noticed that these sounds are coming from different directions. This is also the beauty of Hauptwerk. Hauptwerk is incredibly sophisticated stuff, and you can go into the innards of Hauptwerk and you can actually say, this pipe that I have sampled is positioned here. This pipe is positioned there. This pipe is positioned there. This pipe is positioned there. This pipe is positioned there, and so on and so on and so on. You can tell Hauptwerk where everything is in the sort of the stereo image. You can also tell Hauptwerk where everything is in the surround image. It's incredibly clever. Now, some sample set producers do that themselves. It's incredibly time consuming to do that, because it's like being an organ builder and taking every pipe and putting it in its individual slot, in its individual position. It's incredibly time consuming. Not a lot of people do it. They just do a sort of stereo spread, which is the easy way of doing it. And it's fine. It's a wonderful way of doing it. But if you go into every single detail and do it, now for every organ, that's not necessary. This organ has been done like that. Now that part of the organ is way up at the top, slightly over to there. This part is right in your face. And these guys you can hear them coming from different sides. Yeah, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Nice, we like it. Now let's go and find another organ. And this is another of my favorite ones. This one, I love this. A bench shaker, says camera Tim, don't come. Yeah, either that or you've been eating a lot of beans. So you've got to be careful there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter the final half hour. The final half hour. And it does end at midnight, by the way. This isn't me just saying, oh, it ends at midnight, and then it doesn't. It ends at midnight. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's automatic. Okay? It's completely dead at midnight. It's gone. So, exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. I just realized now that he's pointed it out, that stereo's performance are true surround stereo. Ha! Well done, David. They are, and I tried to do that deliberately. Now, for example, this organ here, this is another one of my favorites. This is a completely different sample set producer. This is the organ in Dudelange. Dudelange sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like. It's a wonderful name, Dudelange. Haven't played Dudelange for a long time, and that reminds me, when we're playing Dudelange, I have to go into here. I have to go into here. I have to go into here. And I have to go into here and do this. Dudelange is a very quiet sample set. There's not much you can do about it. Hold on, I can do that again. I can add a compressor, which I do sometimes. Oh yeah. Let me quickly look at my simple screen. Oh no, God, that's not what I want. That's the one I want. Is this? Yes, this is the one. That's not. Where's the registration? I have a set of registrations that just absolutely take your face off. Oh, hold on. This is probably not the right piece of music. That's why. Ah, it's not the right piece of music. Right, there we are. You set up registrations with different ideas. Ah, there we go. That's the one. I love this organ because it has the most amazing 32-foot sound of all of my organs. Now, if you listen carefully to there, check that out. Listen to this. You can hear a squeak and a rattle. They actually recorded the squeak and the rattle from the church. Isn't that good? That's a bench shaker, that one is. With a vengeance. I love it. Anyway, right. This is an absolutely crazy, delicious organ. That's just too delicious for my tiny brain. Now, this organ has something called shamad pipes, and they're up here on the 4th manual, and they go like this. Fanfare trumpets, if you will, and there are various types of them. For example, that is the muted trumpet. The unmuted trumpet. Isn't that bananas? So, here's the best bit. They have 4 different shamad stops. One at 16 foot. This takes your face off. 8 foot. 4 foot. In between 5 1/3 foot. Whoa, hold on a minute. I'm playing D major. Here I am playing D major. Hold on, I'm playing the same notes. So that means I'm playing D major and A major at the same time. That's rare on a reed stop, but if I add all of those huge shamad things, get rid of the mute and do that again. It takes the paint off the walls. It's absolutely wonderful. Now we need that in context. So here is full organ. Oh, so, yeah. Add a muted shamad. Add all the shamads but muted. Now remove the mute. And that wonderful acoustic at the end of the whole thing. This is an amazing organ. This is a very different, very, very different. This is a sample set created by a Dutch company called Voxus. And they go about things in a very different way. Well, it's not different, but it is slightly different to some of the other ones. They painstakingly do everything. Painstakingly. And this is therefore one of the best sample sets. Now, a lot of people, oh, I don't like it, it's too quiet. Well, guess what, folks? In the church, in the real church, this is how quiet the organ is. Isn't that? Oh, that's it. And that's only one manual. There's another manual of stops here, which is just as quiet. Yeah, and then it can do that enormous sound that I just gave you before. The beauty of this is they have tried, and I personally think succeeded, to emulate the exact sound of the organ in the church. Now, you can play around with some of the settings of this quite nicely. You can play around with the acoustic. So, for example, you can have all acoustic. Let me bump up the organ a little bit so you can hear what I'm talking about. If you were at the opposite end of the church to the organ, or you can have the pure organ sound. Much closer to the organ, or using this handy slider here, you can mix them. Okay? It's quite cleverly done the way they did it. I have it pretty much close to the organ rather than too much of the acoustic there, but it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, this organ is not very far from where I live. It's about an hour and a half away. And guess what? Psst, don't tell anyone. I plan to go there someday very soon and try it out. Isn't that wonderful? How would it, ladies and gentlemen, 21 minutes left to go. 21 minutes left to go. Now I hear you cry. All of these wonderful church organs, aren't they amazing? But isn't there anything else? Isn't there anything else we can have? Well, yes, there certainly is. How are we doing on the old funding here? Is anything else happening? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out. Click, click, click. How are we doing there? Ooh, right. Nothing in the last... I don't know, I don't have time here, but nothing since I last checked. How about that? Yeah, 21 minutes and counting. We need a James Bond countdown, 21 minutes and counting. I promised you a question for a quiz. Now, this is very important. Quiz question. Pay attention. Quiz question. Answers only to this email address. Okay? That's very important. Okay? Check that in the chat. Answers only to gang@gartshore.de. Okay? I play the organ in Herschbach in Germany. Now, first of all, there are 2 Herschbachs, so you have to work out which one I play at. The question I have for you is, and the winner will win a sample set, the first sample set, a copy of the first sample set, for free, whether you've done this or not, I don't care. You will get a copy of it, and if you've already bought a copy of it through either the lifetime access or one of the other ones, then let me know and we will consider something else. No worries at all. No worries at all. The question is, how many pipes are there in the organ of Herschbach? Yes, I do know the answer. I have worked it out and I've checked. I didn't count them individually, but I worked it out. How many pipes? Not stops, not ranks of pipes, individual pipes. Now that sounds easy because you think, hold on a minute, well, I know how many stops there are and I know how many keys there are, so I can work that out. You're forgetting one thing. There are stops called mixtures, and they are made up of more than one pipe sounding at the same time. You have to work out what those mixtures are, how many pipes are in those mixtures, and how many pipes are in the entire organ. I will also give you a clue. The amount of keys on the keyboards do not equal the number of pipes per rank. The keyboards are too small. All right, I'll let you into a secret. The keyboard only goes up to F, but the pipes go up to G. All right? Okay? So there are 2 more pipes that you can't physically play, but they're there. Pedals, however, pedals go from C to F, like my pedals do here, but the notes only go to D. So these top 3 pedals aren't there. All right? So pay attention. How many pipes does my organ in Hirschbach have? The closest to the correct number wins the prize. All right? The closest wins. You can guess. All right? You can guess. It's not 5,040. And please do not put your answers in the chat. Do not put your answers in the chat. Answers only to the email address gang@gartshore.de. Okay? No answers in the chat, please. You will be instantly disqualified, even if you're right. Okay. You have until tomorrow to answer the question. And tomorrow evening during the concert, the winner will be announced. Haha, exciting stuff. All right? There you are. Okay? I thought mixtures would just switch on several stops as a group. No. Mixtures in classical organs are always you play one note, and that one note has several pipes in a rank. There's a rank of pipes. They're all nicely in a row. You can tell the mixtures because you have a nice sort of wooden plank where all of the pipes are based, and the mixture planks are much wider because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 pipes next to each other. This, ladies and gentlemen, does not have any mixtures on it at all. This is a theatre organ. And yes, I want to sample a theatre organ as well. I have a possible theatre organ on my list. I say possible because we're still working on it. It's uncertain who actually owns the organ. That's the problem. It doesn't necessarily belong to the building it's in. It belongs to certain entities that, and so on and so on. But we're trying to get in touch with who the organ belongs to, so that we can record it and turn it into a sample set. Now, a theatre organ sample set is a much different kettle of fish because you have the normal sound. Now you can hear that sounds very different. Not obviously in the sound that's about to come, but even the samples sound different to these samples here. The difference is the tremulants, or these wobbly things that make the sound wobble. And the tremulants cause all sorts of problems with the denoising process, because in a normal organ, the background noise is just a steady supply of wind. In this, you can't hear it there because they've filtered it out completely, which is pretty good actually, very cleverly done. But the tremulants are going all the time in the background, okay? And you have to somehow filter that out to get a nice clean sample. Now you can add in the tremulant noise at a later date, but you still need to have a clean sample. It's incredibly difficult to do, and I'm looking forward to trying to create a theatre organ sample set. Many have tried and many have failed, and this one here and one other sample set that I really should use more are very authentic sounding theatre organ sample sets, but all the rest of them are very sort of tinny sounding because the denoising process was so aggressive. It sounds like a sampled instrument. It doesn't sound like a natural instrument. This one, however, does. Now, it doesn't come like this. It doesn't come like this at all. The organ actually comes like, oh, hold on, that's wrong. No, it's not. The organ actually comes like this, with no acoustic whatsoever. Dry as a fart. Now for that kind of music it's fine, but this... Whoa. Ugh, that sounds weird. So what I did, because this is a big theatre organ, it would have originally been installed in a big cinema, a huge movie palace. It needs an acoustic. So I added an acoustic to it. I added reverberation to make it sound more authentic. I think it does. What do you think? Here's a beautiful tune from Mr. Mills, Mr. Hudson and Mr. Who's the other one? DeLange, I think it was, back in the 30s. A piece of music called Moonglow. We are getting close, ladies and gentlemen. 14 minutes to go. T-minus 14. T-minus 14. Let me just check the old statistics. Check statistics. 11 of the 20 lifetimes have gone. 11 of the 20 lifetimes have gone. And in the other things, what's changed? 27 people have just donated freely. Thank you very much indeed. Otherwise, we have 1 extended, 4 sample sets, 8 behind the scenes. That's changed. 8 behind the scenes. That was less earlier. Exclusive recordings 3. I think that was the same as it was before. And the video presentation is now at no, it was always at 4. So there we are. Right. We're moving. 13 minutes to go. Moonglow. Now, theatre organ is not just an organ, it's also... It can have a piano attachment, or it could have things like... It could have things like cymbals or... castanets. Yes, tambourines. It can also have things like... gongs. And every single one of those things also has to be sampled. Now, I'm guessing the people who sampled this organ also... They also sampled the piano. Now, the theatre organ I would like to sample does not have a piano attachment. However, I could add one, couldn't I? This is also the beauty of hubwork. If you have an organ, you're sampling it, and you think something's missing, well then, add it. Go and record something from another organ, adjust the tuning to make sure it fits perfectly, and add it. It's all possible within HelpWork. There are things within HelpWork called composite organs. They've just basically made up organs out of other recordings, which is a wonderful way of doing things. However, you can also, for example, when you're doing your recording process, if maybe there's a note that doesn't work on the organ, especially organs that I'm going to visit that are about to be closed down, they probably haven't been maintained for a long time, so there might be pipes missing. They could be horrendously out of tune. Now, obviously, it's nice if the organ is perfectly in tune. If it's really badly out of tune, then yes, I would probably go in there and tune individual notes to make them all right again. But otherwise, if they're just a little bit out of tune, you can tune them either within HelpWork or you can tune them while you're doing your processing. Yes, you can do that. It's very, very exciting. And it works beautifully. All possible. Extras. How are we doing? 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Let's have a religious gospel style piece of music. Just a closer walk with thee. Sing along if you know the words. I'm going to jazz this one up a little bit, but I want my other reggies for this one. I think I want these registrations. Clickety pop and bang. Right, there we are. Oh, the microphone was on during that entire time. I do apologize. Yeah, theatre organ style. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final 4 minutes. I see someone talking about the Fox in Detroit. Haha, I've played that organ. I visited Detroit years ago, and I got to spend a day playing the organ in the Fox. And it was great. I played the organ for myself. I made a video recording on one of those old digital tape things. I've never seen it. I've got the tape somewhere, but I don't have a machine that would play it. And I got to play the organ for tours who were visiting the cinema that day. Oh my God, it's the best theatre organ I've ever played in my life. I'd love to go back. Ladies and gentlemen, the final few minutes. So let's have a look, see what's been happening here. Right, according to this, nothing has changed for the past few minutes. So it would appear that everybody has bought everything they want to buy. Good, thank you very much. I can only say thank you. You've been absolutely amazing throughout this entire campaign. I'm amazed and very grateful that it has been successful. I was worried for a while that it might not have been successful, but it has been successful thanks to you, so thank you very much indeed. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your belief in my work and everything I can do. Do any of the planned organs have bells? Yes, one does. I think two might actually. Oh, at least two. I think there might even be a third, but yeah, they do. So yes, there will be bells, and of course there are bells on theatre organs too. Where are my bells? Where are my bloody bells? Ah, there's bells on here somewhere. Where are they? Sodding things. There they are. Haha, theatre organ bells. You're going to sample a theatre church organ. What? Theatre? I don't know what you're talking about, David. Sorry about that. I would love to sample the Detroit Fox. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be astoundingly wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to break into the final minute. We've got 1 minute left. All right, so I wonder, is anyone going to be... Oh, there's a good question. Lucas is asking, what will be the smallest organ size you will sample? I have a one manual portative organ on my waiting list. It doesn't sound like much, but it's a very famous instrument that was played by an incredibly famous composer many, many years ago. I'm not going to say any more than that. Actually, I also have another one manual organ that was played by Mendelssohn. I can tell you that. That's hopefully going to be coming in. Countdown, 50 seconds. 49, 48. But it's like eBay now. It's like eBay now. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Final countdown. The final countdown. We're going to do it. Final countdown. Okay, 30 seconds and counting. This is exciting. This is James Bond now, isn't it? 30 seconds. Or it's Star Trek. Scotty, I need warp factor 5 in 5 seconds or we're toast. Sorry, Captain, I can give you 20 miles an hour next week. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. It says it there. Project ended. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have ended. Phew! Countdown on the keyboard. I should have done that, shouldn't I? What I should have done was diddy 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 boo. That's a song. That's a British game show called Countdown. I should have done that, shouldn't I? Is that it, ladies and gentlemen? That's it. That's it. Right. Well, I won't know the exact statistics until it seems Don Prince seems to know the statistics more than I do. That's not the number I have, Don. You've got a higher number than I have. So there we have it. Let's just have a quick look and make sure we're all on the same page. Looks like we're on the same page. Okay. So maybe that is the right number. That's a pretty impressive number. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's very amazing. Right then, signed, sealed and delivered, says Robert. You're absolutely right. Signed, sealed and delivered it is. Here we go then. That's it. It's official. It was always going to be official. I've been working in the background all the time. But it's now absolutely official, and thanks to you, I can relax a little bit now knowing that I have reserves. I have reserves there that will help go and get all these things done, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to sit there panicking, thinking, how am I going to pay for that? How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? This ensures that it's all going to happen now, which is absolutely wonderful. And it also ensures that I can now go to some other places and say, sorry, I'm busy for the next few months. Bugger off. Leave me alone. I'm busy for the next weeks. I'm for the next few weeks and months. I'm working on this project, and sorry, I can't help you with your project. This is wonderful. And there we are. Some of this is definitely. I'm not even sure what I was going to say. I'm so excited. I'm absolutely exhausted. You may be able to tell. It's been an incredibly exhausting few, not just weeks, months actually. It really has been an amazing year this year. The year started out badly. We lost our dog at the beginning of the year. Remember that? The little one, a bundle of joy, she spent the first few months of her life in and out of hospitals and doctors' offices and things like that. That wasn't much fun either. Everything's fine now, so don't worry about that. That wasn't fun. Then in the summertime, I sadly lost my father, and there's been just so many million things going on. My father's with me all the time now, by the way. My father left me 2 of his watches, so he's with me all the time. I'm wearing one or other of his watches at all times these days. He left us, and then there have been other sort of little things as well, but this has been my little sort of thing in the background that's been keeping me positive all the time. It's been moving me forward, saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I have to do it, I'm going 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 to do it. And this, your support over the past few weeks has been absolutely unbelievable, because it's been, sort of that lovely confirmation, that lovely affirmation that yes, you can do it, you will do it, and we're going to pay you to bloody do it. And that's been absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you on behalf, Vanessa will say thank you as well, and the Bundle of Joy will say thank you too. Thank you to all of you, however little, however large your donation was. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you for making it possible. And here's to a wonderful collaboration. Now, all of the content that has been promised there, so all the recordings of the organ, concerts, private concerts on the organ, things like that, all of that's going to be recorded, and it's only going to be available to you if you've been one of the supporters. Simple as that. Okay, it's only going to be available to you. There will be the occasional YouTube video where I talk about the project, talk about the organs I'm visiting, etc., etc., but there won't be anywhere near as much as all the stuff that you guys and girls have very, very generously donated towards. So thank you very, very much indeed. It's been a wonderful couple of months. When did we start this? We started it in, I don't know, when did we start it? There you are, on the 5th of June it started. There you are, 5th of June it started, and it went very slowly at the beginning. The first person to donate bought a lifetime supply. The first person to donate, and I thought, oh, this is amazing. This is it. It's going to be wonderful. And then weeks passed and nothing happened. Literally nothing. And then thankfully in the last few weeks it's paid off. It's gone. It's over 100%, well over 100%. So thank you very, very much indeed. Thank you so much indeed. I can't say any more than that at the moment. I'll have to gather my thoughts, and we'll do a thank you concert tomorrow night. Tomorrow's the 1st of September. Oh my God, what happened to this year? This year has just disappeared. Tomorrow's the 1st of September. It's unbelievable. Can't believe it at all. I really can't believe it. Unbelievable. So yeah, I've got to get my skates on now. I've got work to do. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I have been doing a lot in the background already, don't worry. But I'm looking forward to being able to present it now and doing it officially. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to sign off. I have to sign off. I have to go to bed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's finish with this. Let's finish with this. Just in time. Just in time. And his cousin, just in stock. I actually knew a guy, and I'm not joking. I really am not joking. I knew a guy whose name was Justin Stock. That's not a joke. What his parents were thinking, I don't know. Mr. and Mrs. Stork called their son Justin. I am not joking. He was a lovely guy, but everyone, he said, Justin Stork. I said, are you sure? And this is not the Bye-Bye Blues. This is just in time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you tomorrow.